Hey, I came from the streets.
Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name's Dutch.
My name is Jules.
This is Penitent Man, Pius Dylan.
I hope the microphones don't pick that up.
They don't
All
pick
right.
it up. You know what? He's so
Who?
obsessive compulsive that he will sit there and try to filter through
Oh, no, I'll just cut it if it doesn't.
the
Don't worry.
music and the sounds and stuff like that for like 5 hours. And I go, it still sounds the same.
Right. The whole point is so I don't have to spend 5 hours doing
And
it.
there's a tear.
That's why I just cut your stuff, dude. All right, let's welcome everybody to another episode of our Ultimate Spirits Competition, our quest to review every living spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, we're hitting some tequila. We're hitting the Cascahuin. We're hitting the Cascahuin Tahona Blanco. I think a lot of requests for this one. A lot of Cascahuin fanboys who absolutely love this bottle. Let's take a look at it. It is an absolutely beautiful bottle. Look at that. Look at the blue. It looks great. This is the Tahona version of Cascahuin.
Dude, that blue looks good.
Yeah, it does look really
like
good.
shimmering.
42% alcohol, NOM 1123. Look at that. Just looks great.
Shining and shimmering.
Take a look at the back there.
Splendid.
Splendid.
And you can see the information there on the lot 192. And let's get poured. Pass down your glasses. Dylan, what do you got?
So this is a lowland, right? And I think the big thing about this is celebrating tradition. So the reason why it's called Tahona is because they're using Tahona, the roller,
mill.
right?
Right, so we should talk about that. Like the traditional way to crush the agave was to use this giant stone wheel.
Yeah.
And there are modern methods for crushing and extracting more juice from the agave, like roller mills and things like that. And a lot of people will tell you, no, it tastes better if you use a Tahona.
And I think that's because the modern versions are arguably more efficient.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
that's the downside.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of the bitterness, right?
You crush it too hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you squeeze a lime,
like too precise.
if you just get the juice, it's great. But if you keep squeezing it really hard, you get all the rind oils, and it can be like off-putting. It's the same kind of, I don't know, analogy in my mind of like you just crush too much of the fibers and you get too much of the peel and all that, and then it just ends up with a different flavor than just the juice.
You get Dutch's skin leavings into the margarita and stuff.
That's why my margaritas taste good, though.
Gross.
You got anything else on this? What price point?
$99, right?
Yeah, I think I got it for closer to 80, but yeah, it is up there. It is an expensive Blanco, and a little bit higher proof, at least, which is kind of nice. We're going to get scoring and tasting. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Jiffy Lube.
No, just a jiffy. Oh, God. All right, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored this. We've scored it independently. We haven't discussed it at all. We're going to discuss it in just a second, but first, Jules is going to tell you guys all about our scoring system. It's 100 points.
That's right.
10 categories. Now go.
Thanks, Dutch. Yeah. That include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. However, we flavor at 20 points and sex value 5 points each. You can medal in our competition. We get 16 up, go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond.
All right, initial scores. We're going to list our initial scores. Of course, our scores can change as we discuss it. Sometimes we'll go up, sometimes we'll go down. You never know. My initial score for the Cascahuin Blanco, 75.
79.
Oh, okay.
75.
Really?
Oh.
We scored exactly the same?
75.
Yet again.
Wow.
Here's the best part. They're going to argue the most.
We probably will.
Let's go.
I don't know, actually. I think
Let's
we're
go.
actually going to be in sync on this one. Because I think he and I are getting the exact same thing. All right, let's kick it off with aroma, pepper, and agave. 7.
Oh, yeah. 7.
Pepper and agave, 8.
On aroma?
And I got spicy, it says.
That's the pepper.
No mint.
That's a little bit.
And I wrote that because of the next category. But I got
it's
pepper,
a
spicy.
very strong 7. It's a good aroma.
Yeah.
I needed.
It's a little subdued.
There's not a lot of
Yes.
it.
So
When I feel overall
I
package.
could go down, I guess. Well, I don't know. I think I liked it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I certainly don't dislike this nose.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I just
no, I'll go down because it's
just
not as
doesn't command
punchy.
your
Yeah,
presence.
yeah, you're right. It's got to be punchier, man. This is.
there's something about the way the agave hits with the pepper that just doesn't work for me.
I get it.
I don't know why.
I get it.
It's like, you added the fresh cracked black pepper to your
Just put
meal,
it
but
in
it
there,
didn't
though.
need it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this every time I have it. It's like, it didn't need that pepper hit. Anyway,
I don't know. I like pepper
so why'd you go down?
because it's not punchy.
Intensity.
Yeah, the intense. Thank you.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you.
Let's move on then, since we all agree, to aroma.
No. Flavor.
Sorry, flavor. Thank you. 17.
17.
I give it an 18.
I see that.
Because I was getting a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of
Alright.
stuff.
Even though it's kind of like
The problem
subdued.
I had was that the agave was too light. I wrote light agave and then pepper.
I was getting more than that. I was getting, like actual nice fruit flavor too on this. Like
A little bit,
which
but
was
not a lot.
nice. It wasn't a lot. I admit that.
Okay, so
That's why
I
think it's more
wrote,
complexity.
I get the mint now on the palate. Pepper, sugar syrup,
Yeah.
sugar cane syrup. I wrote here, and I agree with you in that the reason why it's not 18 is because the agave is just
On
like
the back.
a little
Yeah.
bit subdued.
The sweetness is not clearly agave. That's another part of the
Yeah,
problem, right? Like,
but-
there's hints of it, but it just is a generalized sweetness.
But the thing is, I feel like this process is totally worth it
Yeah.
because
Well, then the other thing is that this is going to totally be somebody's jam.
okay, but the thing
That's
is,
the other side of it.
no. But the thing is, I feel like this is an homage to the past. Like if you drink, it's kind of like how we're always nostalgic about the past liquor, and there's a reason for that. It was actually better.
Some of it.
This, I think, is a celebration of how sweet tequila used to be.
Yeah.
Right? And then it kind of switched over to the mass production of the Don Julios and all these kind of things where you get that hint of bitterness that really is off-putting. You're not getting that here.
Yeah,
It's just a celebration of that.
It's really good. I don't want people to misconstrue a 17 as being bad in any way. Like, there's a lot of really good flavors here. It's just, when I start to dissect it, it falls a little bit short for me.
It's just
But
that
still
it's,
very
it's
good.
the agave is
Really
just
good, guys.
toned
I mean,
down.
it's hitting
That's
a lot of
Totally
flavors.
agree.
So,
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to body 7.
7.
7.
Not bad.
A little bit thin.
A little bit thin. I wanted a little more heft to the palate.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on this one. It just, yeah. It kind of just jumps you right in, and it doesn't leave you a lot of time to reflect.
Yeah, I'm not thinking like thin, but
No.
this is not like, whoa,
It's a
this is
7.
like syrup.
It's
yeah.
good. It's better than average, but it's not great. Complexity, 7.
7.
7.
Yeah, pepper and agave,
Yeah.
Pepper and agave.
but very well represented.
And sugar. Sugar cane syrup.
Yeah, sweet and pepper, basically, is all it is. And it's like, if you want like a thesis on pepper and sweetness in a Blanco, this is it. Like in a tequila, like,
It's definitely like a paint by
there's
numbers.
a lot of depth to the pepper. There's a decent amount of depth to the sweetness. I'd say not as much as some, but it's just
it's decent.
two big notes.
Yeah.
Playing them really loud. I could be convinced that there's sweetness in there. I mean, sorry, fruit flavors in there, but it's not very clear.
It's
I'm not getting
subtle.
like the.
And I could be convinced that there's a minty component too, but it's just like the
No,
pepper.
I get like
There's
a
definitely
melon
mint there.
thing.
I feel like the pepper just washes it all out though to me.
Yeah,
Like
the
I
spice
lose
does.
all the subtlety
spice
because of the
component
spice.
is yeah.
Well, I guess that's a perfect segue to.
Balance. This may not make sense to you guys, but I give it an 8.
I give it an 8 too.
I gave it a 7 because of everything that you just said.
No, but here's
but
the thing: is like, because if you think of this as a 2-note
Right.
Blanco, the sweetness and the pepper are actually
Even-
in a
And
good. They're in
like
concert with each
yeah,
other.
it's a nice match.
If it was just 2-note, which it isn't, but if it was, the pepper is a little bit high.
It is, but I mean, it's a soft 8. I'll admit it's a soft 8. I understand the 7, but I think it's.
I think you're a little high. I think you're a little high. Balance is getting into like, the epic range.
If it was more,
This is not
Yeah,
epic.
he's right.
This is not epic.
You're right. I'll go down.
8, 9, 10, you're like, whoa, this is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right.
you're right. I'll go down. I will join you. Well argued, Dylan. Deal. Okay, guys, next category. Finish 8.
I give it a 7.
I give it a 7.
I'm tempted to go to a 6.
It's kind of long. And like to me,
It's weak.
sorry,
though.
it was short, but the depth of the pepper was really explored in the finish for me. And I it's not my favorite flavor component, but if it were, I would really like this finish. And so I wanted to give it the points objectively because it's not like bad flavors come out. The pepper is like an exposition in the finish. Like it's kind of interesting.
I don't know. I just give it a sip again, and it's really weak. I mean, it's a nice length. I'll give it that. But the flavors are just really mellow for me. Like, I wish there was more. And I wish I was getting the spice. I wasn't getting that in the
In the
finish.
pepper.
I would not call it weak.
I wouldn't call it weak.
I wouldn't call it weak. And I don't think it was short. The issue
it's
that
not
I
short.
had,
Medium.
the reason
medium
I
length.
gave it a 7 was because I thought the length was actually quite good. The problem is that the flavor profile became very singular, which is very sweet. Now, some people, that's going to be
I get
their
a lot
jam.
of pepper though.
I wish I
I
was
didn't
getting
get that.
enough
I
sweet.
didn't
wasn't
get
even
that. I
getting
got all sweetness. And so, like, for some, that's going to be their jam because what's going to happen is that sweetness is going to come back when they take the next sip.
Well, so
And
here,
it's going to potentiate
let me tell you
the
why.
sugary component. And it's just going to be sweeter and
I had
sweeter
a
and
different
sweeter.
experience than you guys because it was almost like there was the core of this pepper right in the middle. Like think of it as the lead of the pencil.
Okay.
And it's there. And then the sweetness was kind of growing around it. And that really happened in the finish, which is ironic to me because that's what I wanted the palate to be like. And the palate was more like, here are these two flavors side by side. In the finish, it really came together in this package of like pepper core, agave surrounding it, which I really actually liked. And to me, it was like, that's where the flavors were represented the most uniform or in the best way, if that makes sense. I don't know. It really worked for me on the finish, but
Yeah, no. For me,
No,
it's just,
the analogy that I would use is like the space shuttle, right?
the booster rocket fell off.
Yeah, like if the shuttle itself was like sugar, and the boosters,
Like I said, I would
Or
agree with
the
you
pepper,
if I didn't get the pepper on
it
the
just
finish.
comes. It's like
would
it's
agree.
being launched, and then as it goes into low Earth orbit, and then
Herbert?
He's done. Let's move on.
when it goes to Leo, and then it
That
goes
has
to Geo,
a,
it
that
just
has a lot
it's-
of girth, Dylan.
All right, let's move on. I don't think we're going to convince anybody. I mean, it's a soft 8.
No,
I will agree
it's
with you guys, but
good, yeah.
I think I found something in the finish that I didn't get on the palate that I liked. So, uniqueness 8.
8.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah, you don't get this kind of exposition on pepper.
Yeah,
No.
I want to
Black
give it
pepper,
X.
black-
And then, the method.
For
You
me,
gotta
it's
give
not
an
even
opponent.
that.
To me, it's the black
I
pepper.
agree.
Right?
Like I could care less about the pepper.
I
I mean, like that's just all pepper. But like for me,
I'm spicy.
okay. So
It's like a South Park reference,
It
right?
is.
Yeah,
so
jeez.
for me, I like these traditional methods because it just brings out the old sugary profiles that I miss in like these mass-produced releases, and I really adore it. I really think that it is unique amongst all the releases, and so I want to give an extra point for that. So I give it.
Yeah, you taste this will stand out in a blind.
Yeah.
If we do a blind and we end up wow, I can't talk. End up including this, like it will stand out.
Yeah.
Like this is a very interesting expression for sure. All right, guys, moving on. Drinkability 7.
I give it a 9.
I give it an 8, but I'm thinking like, why am I not going up to a 9? Because
Yeah,
this
really?
is so pleasant.
It's really pleasant.
I know I have a justification, but
Let me hear it. Well, let's hear Jules first.
I mean,
He's
I wasn't
the
getting your spicy, the pepper.
I get
on
so
the
much
finish.
black pepper.
It
I mean,
was
it's not-
actually nice representation for me. It just it trailed off. I just also wish there was more agave, but I mean, dude, this thing was really drinkable because I was getting all the presence of that, constantly on the palate at least. So
and I know exactly why you gave it a 9.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I gave it an 8. So here's the thing.
Let's hear it.
Like I
So
think
negative.
I think the finish is so sugary
Yeah.
that as you drink more and more of it and it kind of goes to the next
Cycle
phase,
through, yeah.
you're basically drinking like a cocktail.
Yeah.
And that's what you like, right?
It's-
You like
it's a nice-
candies.
yeah.
You like the basic
and
stuff.
then I go back and I still get the agave though, on the palate.
Yeah, you like the drinks, right?
yeah.
And so for me though, that is the problem. It's a personal choice, but I really want something that's more there's more depth. There's more complexity. I want to think
with you
more
there.
during the finish.
It's the complexity that kind of kills drinkability for me. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
that's
it's just kind of
why.
uninteresting to me.
It's
ultimately.
really sweet, and it's like a celebration of the.
It's peppery
sweet,
and it's
but
sweet.
it's-
I agree
yeah.
with you. But like that's all I get from it, and that's just not what I like to go back to. So
Yeah.
I'm a little subjective on this one. Maybe I'll admit to that.
Yeah.
I understand the 9. I understand the 8. It's a strong 7. It's definitely good. I don't want a 7 to reflect me thinking that this tastes bad. It doesn't in any way. It's just not what I would go back to.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're done with flavor. Let's move into our aesthetics and value categories. Aesthetics, 4.
I give it a 5.
I gave it a 4.
I like this
I was gonna
bottle.
give it a 3.
No,
I
you
gave
might
it
be
a 4
right.
Dude,
because
look at the
You might be
bottle.
right. It's a really good
I mean,
looking. Look at the
that's
blue.
great labeling. The blue is
yeah, the
nice.
blue
Iridescent
is the
shimmer.
thing that brought me up from a 3. But this is
really
not like
No, look at the script.
Yeah.
go bring the Ocho.
This I like a little
This
bit better
was
than the
better than
Ocho.
the Ocho.
Same bottle, dude.
Doesn't matter. But
It's the
look,
same sticker.
This
labeling
label
alone
is
makes it
really
stand out.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really strong 4.
That's not a 5, man.
That's a 5.
4.
I didn't give it a 5.
That's a 5.
I see your 5. I'm.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
This is the cast.
Boring. The way, look,
This
it's
is way
boring.
better.
This is way cooler.
This
yeah.
is way cooler.
Come on.
This one has actual, like, look at this. Come on.
Iridescent blue is so cool.
It is
dude.
really cool.
Yeah, but this has shape,
No,
right?
no.
Oh, come
No, you're out of your
Whatever.
mind.
You're crazy.
It's a 4.
Should I go up to 5 just to spite?
Yes.
It's a 4.
No, it's
you
not
are not.
quite a 5. Like if this was
It's a 5
iridescent
for me.
Yeah.
It's a 4. I'm with you. I agree, but like I understand the 5. I actually really like it. It's a very
Yeah,
strong
that's
4.
too high,
cool.
man.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Bring it down.
But hey, what's the one where they do the version where the entire label is the iridescent blue
Oh, yeah.
and all the
what would-
detail is not iridescent? That would be a 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Final category: value 2.
2.
I give it a 3.
2.
It's a strong 2.
You're paying for the
strong
process.
too.
I'm not off put by the price. It's a little high because I didn't love it as much as a lot of people love it, but it's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say 3.
Here's the thing:
Because
is
that's like,
I think
middle.
Volcan's Tahona Blanco just came out, and I think it's like 120. So like,
well, should I give it an extra point because
but then like you think about the
market?
Fortalezas.
it's a celebration of the
Of the process.
traditional.
And
It's a really strong 2.
Yeah.
Again, I understand the 3. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't really need to be that high. I feel like.
You're right.
Yeah, it's true. It could be like 75 and it's a 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but then why is it only a 2 at 90? Like it's not that much higher.
It's 99.
I think I got it for cheaper than that. I think I got it for 80. What is it at Old Town? Look it up.
96.99.
Wow. Okay, so I think it has just gone up.
That's
Yeah,
why, that's why I give it. I'm okay with 2.
I'm okay with 2. That's a lot of money to spend on a Blanco.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot to spend on a Blanco.
3.
All right, fair enough. I understand it. I mean, it's you're getting quality at least.
Paying for the quality.
Yeah, it's
Paying for the
designed.
process.
I mean, it is designed for
Old
like,
school
You
costs
know what
money.
it is? It's what's interesting is it's designed for like the 40 to 50-year-old demographic where this is the time for like nostalgia.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh man, remember the tequila we used to
it
drink
hits
25 years
just
ago?
right,
I
yeah.
wish I could have it again.
Assuming your consumer has some disposable income,
Yeah,
where they
we're
can
like-
spend $100.
Yeah,
on
we're like,
booze.
You're in
Yeah.
luck. You're in luck. You can go to the past again,
Yeah.
except you got to pay us $100.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Hey, it's like going back to the.
You know you ain't denying. Exactly. You know you ain't denying paying for that Lego Back to the Future set. Same thing.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, imagine getting that magic ticket to go into the movie. It's only
right.
$100.
Exactly.
Only $100 just to get to your past. Like, come on, we all want the fountain of youth. This is that. Okay. Anyway, let's get our final tally.
I like getting old.
I ended up at a 74. Jules.
78.
78 for Jules. Dylan.
I like yelling at the sky. I got a 74.
Same as me. Which gives us our official score, official Curiosity Public Ultimate Spirits Competition score for Cascahuin Tahona Blanco. Highly requested video from us, by the way. 75.
Nice.
It's a silver.
Middle silver.
That's a
Dude, that's a really good score.
Very good score in our system. Of course, we do have the hardest scoring system on the face of the planet, so hitting a 775 is no small feat. Definitely,
Well done.
definitely an enjoyable tequila, and yeah. We'll do some more Cascahuin in the future. Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program here on YouTube and Patreon. We are also selling t-shirts. Links in the description. And we have a podcast on the major players. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious. I think they do have a repo too. Dylan's done, dude.
I know, man.
Checked out.
Checked out.
Like, how many bottles have you? Oh my goodness.
How many bottles?
Oh my goodness.